Tell us your name.
Okay, my name is Dr. Ubogu, MD CEO of Nuclear Services, 25 Warehouse Road, Apapa, Lagos.
Okay, you were just talking about the social media entrepreneurship seminar I just organized last Sunday. You were talking about the range of 18 to 45. Why do you put it that way?
Yeah, because 18 to 45 is the age where you have vibrancy in social media activities. From 16, they're beginning to be very active, but from 18 is the legal age. So from 18, you see some of them are already getting to university at 18, at 22 they are graduating, they are finishing youth service, they are searching for jobs. So that is where you begin to see more active participation up to 45, 46 years. But from 50, 60, 70, you hardly see, except those who are in the entertainment industry, coming into social media to participate in social media activities. So 18 to 45 is your targeted audience if you are doing any business platform that you need youth participation. Because youth are just like voting. If you watch the statistics of most voters in civilized countries, is between 18 and 50. They are the ones that participate mostly in activity because they are in charge of the environment. They want to see progress, they want to see progression, they want to see a whole lot of changes. So that is what also helped Obama in his second term, because they were going to university campuses to discuss with people. They tell them the platform, this is what we can do for America, this is this, this is that. Because those is the active age of participation in social media.
Now, you just said something that you just employed a youth corps in your company now. It's still serving, but it's adding value. A lot of people complain, a lot of youth complain, there's no job. Can you say something to that?
Well, as an employer of labor over time, I can tell you that most times it boils down to two different things. One, there are people who went to school for paper qualification, and there are people who went to school for both paper qualification and experience. Now, those who went to school out of experience, they will definitely get by. I see people in this country still changing jobs as fast as you can imagine. Today they are working in this company 6 months, 1 year, they are out, another company is hustling for them because they have value to add. Now, if you go to school to acquire paper qualification, what value will you have? We had a form, employment form that we gave to one graduate to fill the form. He couldn't fill the form. He went out, gave it to his friend to fill it, and he returned it back. But my group HR is an experienced somebody. And he said, well, yes, thank you very much, you fill this form, but I want you to fill the form in my presence. And the guy excused himself that he was going to use the washroom, and he never came back. So those are the things we are saying. Now, with that kind of a person, what value is he going to add? Nothing. But this guy who came in as a youth service to do his youth service, his own colleagues were the one that recommended him that, sir, this guy is immaterial. And I called him, I had a conversation with him, I saw how intelligent he was, I see how he was reducing our downtime from 2 hours to 30 minutes. If you are me, I'm sure you will not want to lose that kind of opportunity. So if people say there's no job, I agree, but how prepared are you when there's an opportunity for you to get an existing job? Trust me, as an entrepreneur, as an employer of labor, there are certain times that whether there is vacancy or not, but when you see the material that somebody has, if you look at the value added, if you look at the source, what that person is going to add to your business, you will create one employment for him, because you don't want to lose him, because you know that in the long run, what he's going to invest in the business is better than the short term, which is the payment you are going to make.
That's a very good. Now, recently you have been rejecting awards. Why are you rejecting awards?
Well, I've been rejecting awards because it's become so proliferated. A lot of people just wake up one day, 2, 3 people just go sit down, conceptualize to say, you know what, we need to just come up with this award because we need to collect money from people. Now, when they are writing you, they will either indirectly or directly, they will coin some grammar. But if you dissect those grammars, you know that they are soliciting for fun. And award is supposed to be something that should encourage someone, it's supposed to spur you from one level to the next level. But when it becomes a situation where it's being monetized, then it's of no value. So as far as I'm concerned, any award that is monetized, I don't want to participate, I don't want to receive such award, because for me, it's a cash and carry business, and I don't want to encourage it.
Okay, look at the economy. This rain was drilling, you still enter the rain, and said to make money is not easy. Why do you make that statement?
Yeah, because a lot of people just think, some of us who have come a long way, they just assume that, okay, can you see Mikura is doing very well for himself. But have you sat down to look at the sacrifices that Mikura does behind? There were times I was sleeping inside the port. There were times my car was my office. There were times where, of course, today you are private to see what happened. It was raining. Some people will actually decide to sit down at home and say, okay, it's raining, I can work from home. But because I've said I'm going to work 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it negates any idea of me working from home today that is Wednesday. Because he who seek equity must seek it with a clean. So if any of my staff decide not to come to work today because it rained, do I have any moral justification to punish that person? The answer is no. Because you two did not come. Why? Because it rained. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. So for me, I believe that for me to seek equity, I should seek it with clean. So whether it's raining or not, I seek it with rain. Not even a car. I didn't drive. I came with a boat. You know, I used my boat.
Yes.
So I was drizzled from the point where I was entering the boat until I got there. That is determination. That is leadership. That is stewardship. Because you need to show, not really showing, so to speak, but people who are your followers, who believe in your ideas, who believe in your ideals, they should be able to pick out something to say, you know, even in the rain, it still comes up.
So what do you understand the consent of mentorship?
Well, mentorship is just like an advice. An advice is 3 ways. You can give somebody advice, the person will dissect the advice and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to take all the advice you give to me, or he's going to filter the one you give to him, or he's going to reject it completely. Same thing is mentorship. Mentorship stands for the fact that I've seen you from afar. I've seen your progress from afar. I want to be close to be able to learn something from you so that I can add what I'm learning from you to what I have already to make me a better person. So it depends on what the person sees. It depends on what the person aspires to become. It depends on what the person actually, a progression line to say, this is what I want to do. This is how far I've come. This is what I want to tap from this person. And this is what I want to have. Nobody is perfect. So when you look at, in terms of mentorship, you need to look at what are the values you want to learn from the person you adjudge as your mentor.
What is the challenge as a mentor?
Well, one of the biggest challenges, even in the worst times, you want to try to be upright, even when you are being challenged, because you feel a lot of people are watching you, a lot of people, you are a role model to a lot of people, so you don't want to disappoint them. So even if things are not working right, you try to swallow it hook and sinker because you don't want to portray a negative impact or a negative message to people who believe in you. But trust me, sometimes mentors are suffering behind the scene because they are being challenged, but because they don't want to come up openly to say, I'm being challenged, I have these issues, I have these personal issues, I have this one, so that, you know, people don't begin to pick wrong ideas and begin to also impact those wrong ideas on their team and fans. So situation like that, whether your hands are tied or not, you try to live an upright life, you try to undermine those things that really bother you a lot so that you don't send the wrong signals to others.
Now, the kind of mentorship I've seen, sir, I've seen that a lot of people want to make mentor with you because you have money or you're in position. We're not seeing genuine mentorship anymore. That is somebody, they want to associate with someone that has money. Have you seen that correlation?
Yes, but it's very unfortunate because it's better for you. Me as a person, I've also seen people who I look forward to, like Princess Vicky Astro, for instance. When she came into the maritime industry, she came in as a greenhorn, but after a while, she was like, wow, she was doing a whole lot of things for the past 10, 12, 15 years. She's been the chairman of STOA. Those are people that I have access to. But I've never gone to her one day to say, please, madam, I have this problem. Can you help me solve it? It's not as if I don't have this problem. But when you add asking into mentorship, then you lose your value.
You hear that?
Because you become a burden instead of an asset. And nobody wants a burden. Everybody wants an asset. You know, there was a time I actually told somebody, I said, you know what, you want to just, in the morning, I'm not paying you salary, in the morning, just come to the office. I will send you an errand, I will say, go do this one, go do that one. And that is it. And that was why sometimes some people, when they want to know how to negotiate, when I want to go to negotiate my contract, they come with me. They are not my staff, but they want to learn. And they see how I negotiate my contract, they see how resolute I am. It's not about what I want to give to them, but they are learning. That is true mentorship. You are calling me your mentor, tomorrow you are DMing me, you are sending me a message, you have a problem, your mother is sick, your father. How does that concern me? Tomorrow if you call me, I don't want to pick your call because you have become a liability. Nobody wants that. Some morning I wake up in the morning, you see 10, 15 people have already sent me messages. I don't work for you. I work for myself. So let me show you how to fish. I think that is a bigger advantage for you to say, you know what, I have this challenge. Just like when this guy, I sacrificed myself for them. This guy in Gabriovoice Business School. I was consistently for more than 6 months. Every Wednesday, I was spending 1.5 to 2 hours with the people he was bringing to come and learn how to do business. Then it was hard for me. I had to leave my business for 2 hours to attend to them. Well, for me, I felt that was one of the things I have to give back to the society, because one rich man in the family is actually a poor man, because everybody's going to tap into you and they begin to pull you down. So why don't we just share ideas, share knowledge, so that people can diversify into different areas of businesses and they have their own financial empires, financial liberty. So nobody will come and ask. But unfortunately, we live in a society where even some people, you have the ideas to teach them what to do. They will learn, but they are used to that asking, being a leech, always wanting to get from someone else. So they won't want to even practice whatever they learn from.
I just want to say something, because I know why I asked this question. You know, this social media entrepreneurship, you can see that we're able to organize successful with your ideas. To some people outside, they say maybe you are giving me millions of naira. Can you expatiate on that?
We only shared the ideas, and I never contributed a penny to that. Unfortunately, that day I had some issues that I couldn't attend. I would have attended, not as a guest speaker, but perhaps as an observer to see how people are also interacting. Everybody still learn, even up to today. I still learn. I'm not going to tell you I'm a monopoly of wisdom. No, I still learn. And that is why most times when they organize some entrepreneurship program, I just like to make opening speech and just sit down and also tap ideas from people. I just told you about a youth service, somebody who is doing youth service, and the pooling system, we use like 2 hours, 3 hours to do the job. But he does it in 30 minutes. And it's his colleagues that recommended to say, you know what, this guy is good. So, am I going to tell you I'm better than him? No. But sometimes, you know, like the Bible clearly said, time and season. Some of us are successful today. It's not because we are better than those that are not successful. That is not it. But we have what we call resilience and determination. That separates two individuals. Somebody more may have all the whole talent, he may have all the whole idea, but how resilient is he? How does he persevere? How does he focus? Does he have the temerity to say, you know what, I am challenged now, but I have a bigger picture? When I left Dangote in 2007, I had a job of 6 figures. Somebody offered me a job of 6 figures. With house in Beachland Estate, car with a driver, twice holiday abroad. Because he saw the value of what I can impact in his business. We had a conversation and the guy was like, wow. No, you are the person I'm looking for. I said, I don't want to work for anybody, I want to work for myself. So in the beginning, it was not as rosy as it is now. Because even raising 5 million naira bank guarantee there for me to get a master license was a challenge. But that cannot be said as it is today. But that was there in 2007. 2017 now, probably we're approaching 15 years. But were we resilient enough to weather the storm? The answer is yes. Have we been impactful in our choosing career? The answer is yes. Have we been able to make an impact in the direction that we choose? The answer is yes. But take it. It may not translate to the amount of money that you have in the bank. There are two different things. You may be wealthy, but you don't have ideas. So the amount of money you have in the bank does not translate how successful you are. But success comes from the Father. Who are the people you service? Who are your customers? What confidence? If you look into this country today, most of the biggest terminals today are service. From APMT, PTML, on airport, ENL.
On airport?
Yeah. On airport, ENL, ABTL, and stuff.
These are foreign companies.
I just acquired under Office 923 warehouse room because this place is becoming to joke. So I understand it. So these are the things that for me define success. It does not translate to the money in the bank. We may likely not have enough money in the bank, but the fact remains that we have been able to create employment. We have been able to make a mark. We have been able to stamp our authority. We have been able to be an enigma in the industry for people to say, you know what, I want to be like this company. I want to add this value. Don't forget, sir, when I was in Dangote, I was part of the team that made Dangote to have ISO certification in 2003 or 2004. And I promised myself that when I leave, anytime I leave Dangote and I set up my own business, one of these strategic points I am going to make is to make sure that my company is ISO certified. We achieved that in 2019. Yeah, 2019. We achieved that. Today in the industry today, the Courier Services is the only company that is ISO 9001, 2015 certified. So when you create your dreams, how do you drive them? When you set your goals, how do you pursue them? You can set goals, and some goals die because you can't achieve them. But trust me, some goals don't die because you don't achieve them, not because of money, but because you don't have the self-belief and determination to drive those goals. And that is what differentiates a poor man and the rich man. Determination, strength of character, of purpose, drive. That is it.
You have something to say? You're an entrepreneur. Ask question.
Okay, sir. From what I'm saying, sir, just when I entered, I look at the offer and I see that you have a lot of staff. One thing that comes to my mind is how do you able to manage everybody in terms of organization structures?
Well, first and foremost, what you are seeing here is just a skeleton. What you are seeing here is just a skeleton because this is a corporate office. Today we have close to 4,000 to 5,000 workers, direct and indirect. So how are we able to cope? The question is getting the right resourceful people to do the job without sentiment, without bias, without recourse to nepotism, without recourse to tribalism, without recourse to religion. Now, if those sets you aside, it's not as if I don't have families that want to work, but the moment you begin to bring families into your business, in-laws into your business, family friends into your business, that is the beginning of your destruction. I'm not trying to say that if you have a family that has value to add, you shouldn't employ. That's not what I'm saying. But most times when your family comes into the business, they are going to leave their primary assignment that you have given to them to begin to encroach on other people's assignment and responsibility. Now, because they know that they are family to you, the other people may not have the courage to challenge them to say, no, you are overstepping your bound. Why? Because they are afraid to say, you know what, this is family. But trust me, we have been able to cut that here because everybody is empowered to do his job without recourse to me. It's only the head of the department, if they need my input, then they call my attention to say, look, we have this challenge, what do we do? And I'll tell them what to do. Or sometimes I can override their decisions. It depends on what I believe at that material time. I can override. But other than that, even in Lagos here, we are servicing Joseph Dam, ENL, APMT, PTML, ABTL, and all. So how can we cope? How can only one man cook? It's not possible. What do? You delegate responsibilities. And when you delegate those responsibilities, you allow the responsibility to flourish. People have gone to school, people have gotten experience. You don't operate like a remote control. You own the television, you want it to channel 25, you tune to channel 25. No. Allow them to be able to take decisions, because that also makes them comfortable. Some people that are working here, it's not as if they don't have other jobs where they will pay them better pay. But they have job security, and they also have the ability to say, what I have learned in school or what I have learned somewhere else, I have the knowledge to be able to put it in place with minimal interference.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Thank you for that clarity, sir. I want to ask this question. Like me, I operate in a school. I do training. I train people, and also I operate a system where I can type of news. Some people will come and ask a staff to please attend to this client. They'll say they actually want me to do the job. And most times, your hand is tied down to other appointments with people I want to do. Some people will come in based on they have known you outside. They'll come. I want to see Mandavo, and maybe they want to do training. I have a secretary which I already approached. Okay, you are always to attend to customers once they come, discuss with them, talk to them. We already have the structure of our training program. Now, but once they come, they still want to speak to them. They want to actually see you, the MD or the CEO, without seeing you. They're not going to do anything.
Okay, have you been able to sit down and look at the quality of people that you employ behind the scene? That is very important. Because like here, I work 3 times a week, but the office work 5 times a week. In the port, they work 7 days a week, so 365 days. I'm not in the port. Right? Even if I'm in the port, how am I going to share myself? In APMT, we have 2 operations we are running in APMT. In PTNA, we have more than 3 operations we are running. In ENA, we are running operation there. In Joseph, now we are running operation. Then you now come to Olam Ikuruju, Olam Pasta, Olam here, Olam here. Then you now go to Port Harcourt, you now go to Bois. How do you run that? You must delegate responsibility and allow those people you are giving those responsibility to flourish. So you have, that is why I said, have you sat down to look at behind the scene people you are employing, if they are competent enough to have the same capacity like you, so when you are not there, they'll be able to do the same job without customer complaining. Because most times it stems from the fact that when customers are not satisfied, then they tend to escalate. They'll say, no, I don't want this, I want to talk to you. I have a customer that is calling me now. The first time I gave him uniform to produce, it's an Italian guy. They got it wrong. He's been begging me to come back. But I may not be able to give you the opportunity for you to come back because I gave you the opportunity. He said he was not around us at that time. That means you don't have a structure. Because if you have a structure, it doesn't matter that whether you are there or not. You know you're not supposed to be there. So am I supposed to be in Calabar now that they are working? I have a business in Calabar, 2 businesses in Calabar. Am I supposed to be in Port Harcourt? I have almost 4 businesses in Calabar. I'm servicing Bois, I'm servicing Ola. They have sugar in a different factory. They have flour in a different factory. How do you deal with that? Lagos now, come to Lagos. Ikorodu is there. Standard, we have standard here. We have here in Second Gate. You go to Sunrise. How do you cope? So you need to dissect that factor. Look at the people you employ, starting from your secretary. How does he attend to customers? Because in ISO, sir, do you know who are your first customers? If I ask you, who are your first customers?
They're your staff.
They're your first customers. Because your staff are the ones that will help you keep the customers that are coming. Because if I come to your place today and I want to see you, and your secretary, for instance, who is supposed to usher me in, who is supposed to receive me well, is beginning to give attitude. No matter what I want to do with you, I just walk away. But when you come, you say, welcome, sir, how are you, sir? You want to see my boss, is not around, please, can you sit down? You want tea, you want coffee, you want water, you want this one? The guy will be so relaxed, he will be so confident to sit down and even wait for you. That is the first step. You have been able to capture that customer. But as soon as the first person who is attending to that customer is beginning to frown and give attitude, as he's leaving, he's going to tell 10 people about his experience in your office that day. Because as he's going, you say, where are you going? Say you are going to Nicholas office. Those people, please don't go there, they will mess you up. As that one is going, he's telling someone else. As that one is going, he's telling someone else. So in a day, you are losing like 10 customers. And 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So before you know it, they'll come out. So you need to go back and look at yourself. You can fix a camera, so you can sit down at home and just watch what they do in the office. How do they attend to customer? Because there's a different. That is what if you watch this business, I've been able to build it independent of me. You can see my staff, whether they are eating, whether they. I don't want you to show me eye service. What is eye service? When I'm there, that's eye service. Be your normal self, whether I am there or not. That is what you are paid to do. That is what you should do. You are not here to serve me. No, sir. You are here to do your job. If you are an accountant, your own is to, if we have an agreement with our client to say every 25th we are going to pay our customers, our vendors. You don't need to wait for me. On the 25th, bring the request. I'll give approval. You pay them. Why should you come back to me to say that? Except there is no finance. And I don't also make that mistake. We must make sure that the finance are there so that our vendors, they have value for their money because they have also given you the product. You have used the product. You should pay them. So why will now an accountant who will be saddled with the responsibility to pay workers on the 25th? Now your own is to booklet me when you come, instead of you to do your job to ensure that the workers get paid on the 25th. All you do is to come and so I said I should come and greet you, sir. Why are you coming to greet me for what? Yes, we can see. Even I can walk on the passage. Some people don't know me if I'm the MD. It doesn't concern me. What is important is all of us are fetching from one port. So we need to protect that port so that it doesn't break. Salutation can come later. If you choose to greet, it's fine. If you choose not to greet, it's also fine. That also shows the kind of moral burden you carry with you. But you need to know behind the scene when you are not there, the kind of quality service and reception your team gives to that customer when you are not there.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. Lastly, let me ask this one. In terms of finance, like we that are into service business, most times we, like my kind of operation, sometimes you don't actually have that service, the finance, and we tend to raise capital. Is it advisable as a service growing business, common business to start raising capital when you are looking into expansion?
Well, there's two ways that you can do that. And one of the ways you can do is to bring in external investors. To say, okay, I have this project, I need 30 million for this project. You draw a plan, and the guy comes up to say, okay, let's sit down and discuss. On this 30 million, this is your share capital that I'm going to give. It's one of the problems we have in this country, in Africa as a whole, why businesses sometimes are limited, is because we tend to do winner take all. And that is why you see that most businesses, they don't grow, because instead of them to seek for partnership, instead of them to seek for investors, you can have investors that are not partners. You can have partners that are not investors. You can come in with idea. You can see today, if you go to the papers today, you will see that Dangote single-handedly started the refinery. But today, NNPC want to buy 20% stake at $16 billion. Femi Otedola bought some stake in there. And some other people bought in some stake. On him alone, he could probably run it, but it could take more younger years for him to finish it. But today, he's seeking investors who are bringing money because they believe in it. And also, sir, most times you discover that when people want to buy shares or buy partnership or invest in some business, the first thing they want to know is who are the promoters of the business? What is their credibility? I have a business that I invested over 38.something billion since February. Today the business is struggling. Why? Because instead of me to use my personal intuition, I use sentiment to set up the business. I didn't do my checks very well. I trusted so easily, and today my fingers are getting burnt. So if I have done due diligence in the beginning, I'm sure this won't have happened. So most times, people want to do, today, I have some businesses that I run for people. I run the business for them. I'm the CEO of the business. I sign whatever I sign is final. They don't question me. And that is enough to scare me not to tamper with a dime in that account. It's enough to scare me. Why? Because my integrity is at stake. If tomorrow they do an audit and they now discover that 1 million naira is missing, and you begin to explain, I did this and this, they leave with a bad impression. And that bad impression, it takes years to erase. So if you want to expand your business, you can look for investors. You can look for people who will stake in their money. Either it's one-off payment for them to, or you say, look, I have this idea, I have this one, I have this one. I want you to put in 10 million, and you can come in as my partner. You have to be transparent. And as a partner, it depends on how you define the partnership. Is it that it's going to be something you are going to be paying him every month on interest basis? Or is it going to be a partner at the end of the year, you share profit and loss? Do you trust yourself enough to be so free-minded to say, this thing, even in the point of my death, I will not betray my trust? It's very important.
So, sir, what
Thank you, sir.
legacy are you leaving? What legacy?
Well, you know, in time past, people say when people die, that is when people will come and start pouring their communions on the person on the point of his departure. You can see what happened to South Sultan. Everybody, even people, TB Joshua, even people who don't know him, all of them are saying, my G, my friend, my this. But while he was alive, did you tap into his legacies? So legacy has a different definition to different people. But as far as I know, even if I die today, I want to be remembered like somebody who will do anything to keep his integrity when it comes to business. I will tell you tomorrow, I will tell you next tomorrow, I have never cheated anybody 1,000. I'm not saying 10,000, 1,000 in business. I've never cheated anyone. I would rather lose